An iPhone 5C catches fire on a 13-year-old for sitting on it. Leaks of the HTC M8 prove that there are some dramatic camera improvements, and it seems that the iWatch will do more than just track your sleep and fitness. I'm Jaime Rivera, and that's actually a great deal. I do need something that helps me sleep that's not alcohol. This is Pocketnow Daily. Let's just stay off with some official news, as Samsung has just announced more faux leather Galaxy S4 variants, and this time they're being launched in South Korea. We get a couple of colors, including the rose gold variants, which is really interesting, but what even makes this more interesting is that these are actually better than the black edition phones that were launched in Russia, because these ones do have LTE Advanced, which does mean that there is a Snapdragon 800 processor on these. So let's just hope that we do get these phones, although we are expecting the Galaxy S5 to be launched the next couple of days. Now let's talk about Sony, as one of the phones that really caught our eye at CES 2014 was the Sony Xperia Z1 Compact. And I wish those names were smaller, but as it turns out, even though the company figured out how to squash flagship specifications on a smaller phone, customers are complaining about some bleed in the flash when taking photographs at night. So obviously we haven't been able to verify this. Please leave us a comment down below if you are experiencing these issues, as Sony hasn't really told us anything about it yet. And speaking of smartphone issues, let's talk about Apple, as an iPhone 5C just left second-degree burns on a teenager in the state of Maine in the United States. And the reason why was not because she was using a fake cable or because she replaced the battery. This was a 2-month-old iPhone 5C, and all she remembers doing is sitting on the phone while it was in her pant pocket. So it turns out that apparently she snapped the battery when that happened, and a couple of minutes later it ignited. So obviously there is an investigation. There will most probably be a lawsuit. So while that happens and while we figure out why this happened, put your iPhone on your front pocket, just in case. Now let's talk about the HTC M8, as we've got 3 different pieces of news that are kind of conflicting. First of all, we get a leaked photo of the phone with dual cameras, which is interesting. It also has a dual flash, but it's the same HTC One, only with new cameras. We also have some other leaks that say that the phone is including a high-resolution camera at the front, which is great. It's something that we're expecting. And HTC has been doing a lot with that, you know, with the wide-angle cameras at the front and everything. But even more interesting is an HTC executive from Europe saying that somebody has been photoshopping things on Twitter. Or wait, he said on Twitter that somebody's been photoshopping things, so obviously it could be that these photos are fake, so stay tuned. We'll see. Let's hope that the HTC One Plus or M8 or whatever it's going to be called looks a little better than the HTC One, if that's even possible. And finally, for the hot news of the day, Apple has just hired a guy named Ray Raymond from Philips Research, and this guy is not just a sleep expert. He's also an expert in sensors that help people sleep through his therapy without the need of medication, which is extremely interesting, and we're expecting for that to happen for the iWatch. And aside from that, we also get some interesting rumors that Apple is going to be using the LG G2 step battery technology for the first generation iWatch in order to make it have a great battery, because the G2 does have a great battery. So we're seeing that the iWatch is not just going to be one of these fitness and sleep tracking watches, but also something that could probably help you sleep and obviously be available to you while you sleep without the need for you to be charging it, because that would have to be the purpose. But anyways, that leads me to the question of the day. What would you like this iWatch to do that current watches or Fitbits can't do? Because in my particular case, yes, if I would have an assistant for my sleeping, an assistant for my fitness, it would be a really compelling gadget. But leave us a comment down below. What do you think? And friends, you know the drill. If you want to get the news earlier before this video is filmed, make sure you follow us on Pocketnow.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. You can also follow me on Twitter, Jaime_Rivera. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I am Jaime Rivera. Thank you very much for watching. We will see you tomorrow.